I'm going to be talking about depression and the challenges that it brought into my life for over a decade. The valley of the shadow of death, that deep experience of deprivation, that deep experience of separation, deep experience of loneliness. I entered that dark night of the soul. It endured in my life in my early years, and even though I projected myself into my work, into my studies, and into my family, I felt so separate. I felt disconnected. I'm Dr. Dwayne. Thank you for joining our YouTube community. We have transformative courses, programs, exclusive consultations at Ability Academy Australia. Through that experience, it gave me a deep and profound insight to be able to come out the other end also, to understand those experiences that others may be going through, which are called a parallel experience. It's a parallel experience that you and I together may have in our life, or you may be going through at the moment. Know that it's healthy for us to be able to seek out people that can support us. Know that it's okay to seek out professional help of counselling and therapy. It's okay to seek out medical advice. All of those processes help us on a pathway to wellness. It's a look at our dietary intake and see what we're putting into our body when we're in these places, even though it's challenging and tough. And we're just trying to get through a day, trying to get through an hour, because life seems to be throwing everything at us all at once. Our journey has become the dark night of the soul, and that's just a reflection of the challenges that we all face. We can experience the feeling of being so separated that we feel like we're at the bottom of the barrel and we're just going through the murky substance that feels like mud and glug, and there's no clarity. We we seek out those supports, and those supports may be very basic to what we need and that we desire. And that support may be family, that support may be a good friend, that support may be learning something new to make it applicable to the process that we're going through, the challenges that we are facing, and the challenges that we are to face. I really believe that even though I felt so separate, isolated, and alone, it was being involved with other people by having to work, by having to pay bills. That was a stress in itself, but immersing myself in helping others supported me to be able to get through an hour, get through a day, get through a week, get through a month. And this went on for months and months, and it went on for years. It was taking a physical toll. It was taking the energetic process to be able to engage in life in a real way. And I knew in my heart that my garden and immersing myself in nature, even though I felt even disconnected from that process, I did it in a robotic way that I would plant plants, and I would tell myself, one day I will be able to enjoy this garden to its fullest. I will be able to see the outcome of what I am doing today and how it would flourish into a beautiful established garden. It was maintaining myself in a day to day basis. It was becoming to the point where I was becoming meditative in the process of being in the moment, not in yesterday, not in tomorrow, but in the moment. It was about looking at the challenge, but looking at it in a way of seeing an outcome which was healing. So I placed myself into nature where I found not the connection, but found a routine which kept me mobile, that kept me going. I introduced myself to a wider world support through reading material. And one of the books that came into my life that was particularly inspirational at that particular time was Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Myss. There was profoundness in the insights that she had in that particular book. I would always come back to that specific book and think that is what really encouraged me to unpack my spiritual side within my challenges of my mental health and how I actually seen life and how I was seeking health and happiness in other ways. That journey unpacked a profoundness in looking at other materials that would encourage me to be on that journey of healing. It wasn't an easy process. I'm not saying it's an easy process. I'm just saying that there is hope end of our challenges that we experience in life. It, life presents us with challenges so that we are able to grow through that experience. I kept having a profound knowledge that what I'm going through will help someone else, will touch someone else's life one day, will be able to understand something of the challenges that they may be experiencing in their life and help them to be able to move on, to be able to help them engage in life again and help them to feel connected, to separate themselves from that loneliness. It's so profound today because I'm actually in a place where I enjoy helping others, love that process of helping others problem solve, helping others find solutions, helping others to bring some sort of enlightenment into their life. That may be change through routine or change in their behavior or change in becoming solution focused. That may be feeling that I need to become much more physical or I need to become much more mindful in what I'm doing throughout the day, or I need to become much more physically involved, or I need to become spiritually involved, or I need to become an avid reader and find answers to the questions that I'm challenged by with life. All of this and the challenges that I went through and the help that I was seeking, I was putting out there. I was asking for literally the universe to give me some answers to why I was being so challenged. But I stayed engaged in other ways by working with people with disabilities. That alone kept me going, that kept me physically engaged, that kept me mentally engaged, that kept me in a process of being connected with others. I didn't isolate myself. I didn't alienate myself, even though I felt like I could have done that in an instance. But there was a bigger purpose of putting on a different hat each day, which actually helped me to stay continuously consistent. And I think my consistency through that process helped me come to a place in my life where I did change my diet intake. I did start to eat much healthy food. I changed what I was putting into my body. So it was about putting healthier food into my body, healthier drinks into my body, and knowing that those things were very important to building me physically, but helping me mentally and helping me spiritually to move through this spirit experience of depression. It taught me so much on so many levels. Today was about sharing with you that everybody at certain times in their life are going to experience short depressive episodes or depression for months on end or depression for several years on end. And know that there are supports out there, but there are also support mechanisms within us internally where we need to acknowledge that it's okay to get help. It's okay to move forward. It's okay to acknowledge that we're going through a challenging time. We're not the only ones. Just engaging in this process of conversation about depression and what it can do and what we can become and how we can move through that experience. I'm still in the moment. I'm still in today. And that's why I'm sharing with you that there is hope, that there is a way to be able to move forward. Please remember to subscribe